It doesn't matter how much resistance training you are doing daily to build muscle, it would be completely useless if you are not eating high-protein meals daily. But most seniors already know this. What most seniors don't know is that you don't have to rely on just fish like salmon or sardines and tuna, and maybe chicken alone to meet your daily protein goals. And here's why. 100 grams of salmon has about 25 grams of protein, and eating that alone will not help you build muscle, as you need at least 100 grams of protein and above daily to beat sarcopenia. Most seniors make the mistake of thinking that the only affordable seafood high in protein is fish. But what if I told you there are a lot of high-protein seafoods that have more protein than fish and are much cheaper than fish? In this video, I will be telling you 4 seafoods that are super affordable and can help you beat sarcopenia fast. I will be telling you the cheapest ones first, and then the ones high in protein last. I will also be telling you the 4 seafoods you are eating right now that are not good for your health. If you are yet to subscribe to our channel, do so right away. Without further ado, let us begin with number 1. Snails. When you eat just 100 grams of snails, you're getting 25 grams of pure, high-quality protein. But here's what happens inside your body that most people don't understand. The moment this protein enters your system, it breaks down into essential amino acids that your muscles need. These amino acids immediately get to work repairing microscopic tears in your muscle fibers from your daily activities, and then something amazing happens. They don't just repair, they rebuild your muscle tissues stronger and bigger than before. This is called muscle protein synthesis, and it's your body's natural way of fighting sarcopenia. But what most seniors don't know about snails is that the protein is just the beginning. Snails pack nutrients that target muscle growth in ways that will shock you. First, snails contain moderate cholesterol, just like lean meat, which gives your body the essential building blocks for hormones that support muscle growth and repair. Then there's the iron content that boosts your hemoglobin, thereby improving oxygen delivery to your muscles so they work harder and recover faster. The magnesium in snails helps your muscles contract and relax properly, reducing those painful cramps and weakness that plague so many seniors. And the potassium supports your heart rhythm and muscle function, keeping your muscles strong and reducing that constant fatigue you might be feeling. Recent research has also shown that seniors who regularly consume snails show significant improvements in muscle mass and strength compared to those who don't. The study found that the unique combination of nutrients in snails creates an optimal environment for muscle growth that's particularly effective in older adults. But this isn't just modern science talking. There's an ancient tribe in West Africa that has been eating snails for centuries, and researchers discovered something remarkable about them. Despite their advanced age, tribe members who regularly consumed snails maintained extraordinary muscle strength and lived exceptionally long lives without the typical signs of aging that we see in Western societies. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do you actually prepare these muscle-building powerhouses? Cleaning snails is simpler than you think. First, purge them by letting them fast for 24 to 48 hours, then scrub the shells with a brush under running water. Boil them for 5 to 10 minutes, remove from shells, and clean off any remaining slime with salt and lemon juice. Rinse thoroughly, and they're ready to transform into delicious, muscle-building meals. You can then try any of these recipes. For breakfast, dice boiled snails and sauté with cubed sweet potatoes, bell peppers, and onions in olive oil. Season with garlic, paprika, and herbs. Top with a poached egg and fresh parsley for a protein-packed morning meal that will fuel your muscles all day. For lunch, combine prepared snails with white cannellini beans, diced tomatoes, spinach, and aromatic herbs like oregano and thyme. Simmer in a rich vegetable broth with a splash of olive oil. Serve with crusty whole grain bread for a satisfying muscle-building lunch. Then for dinner, sauté snails in garlic butter with fresh herbs, then serve alongside roasted Brussels sprouts, carrots, and parsnips. Finish with a drizzle of balsamic glaze and toasted pine nuts for an elegant, restaurant-quality dinner that's packed with muscle-building nutrients. But I hate to break it to you, if you think eating only snails will make you grow muscles, then you are wrong. You must have the next seafood in your meals if you want to see any progress with beating your sarcopenia. Combining the next seafood I want to talk about with snails makes the perfect muscle-building combination ever. Number 2. Octopus. When you eat 100 grams of octopus, you're getting 30 grams of protein. That's 7 grams more protein than salmon, 8 grams more than tuna, and absolutely outranks most fishes when it comes to muscle-building power. But here's what's truly remarkable. Octopus protein contains all 9 essential amino acids in perfect ratios that your aging muscles desperately need to rebuild and grow stronger. But what most seniors don't know about octopus is that beyond its incredible protein content, it's packed with nutrients that specifically target muscle growth and recovery in ways that will amaze you. First, octopus is loaded with copper, which aids red blood cell production, and this improves oxygen delivery to your muscles so they can perform at peak capacity and recover faster than ever. The vitamin E in octopus acts as a powerful antioxidant, creating a protective shield around your muscle cells, preventing the damage that typically comes with aging and exercise. And the B vitamins in octopus are like fuel for your energy metabolism, helping your muscles use fuel so efficiently that you'll feel stronger and more energetic than you have in years. Recent research has revealed something incredible about seniors who regularly consume octopus. The study found that older adults who included octopus in their diet showed remarkable improvements in muscle mass, strength, and overall physical performance compared to those who relied on traditional protein sources. The researchers were particularly impressed by how quickly participants saw results, some reporting noticeable strength gains in just weeks. This isn't just modern science talking. The coastal people of Greece have been relying on octopus for centuries, and during times of famine and war, they discovered something extraordinary. While other communities struggled with weakness and muscle loss during food shortages, the Greek islanders who had access to octopus maintained their strength and vitality. Elders in these communities were known to work their fishing boats and carry heavy loads well into their 80s and 90s. A phenomenon that puzzled outsiders until they discovered the octopus connection. Now, preparing octopus might seem intimidating, but it's actually quite simple. Start by cleaning the octopus under cold running water, removing the beak and ink sac. To tenderize it, either freeze it overnight or beat it gently with a meat mallet. For cooking, the key is either very quick high heat or long slow cooking, nothing in between. Boil for 45 to 60 minutes until tender. For breakfast, dice tender boiled octopus and sauté with small roasted potatoes, cherry tomatoes, and fresh herbs like dill and oregano. Scramble with eggs and finish with crumbled feta cheese and a drizzle of olive oil for a protein-packed Mediterranean morning meal. For lunch, combine grilled octopus pieces with warm green lentils, roasted red peppers, cucumber, red onion, and fresh parsley. Dress with lemon vinaigrette and top with toasted walnuts for a satisfying, muscle-building lunch that will keep you energized all afternoon. For dinner, slowly braise octopus with carrots, turnips, and celery in a rich tomato and red wine sauce, seasoned with bay leaves and fresh thyme. Serve with crusty bread and a sprinkle of fresh herbs for an elegant, restaurant-quality dinner that's packed with muscle-building nutrients. Now, before you rush out to buy octopus thinking you found the ultimate muscle-building secret, let me stop you right there. Octopus alone won't get you the results you're looking for. To truly beat sarcopenia and build serious muscle at any age, you need to add the next powerhouse seafood to your diet. When you combine this third seafood with snails and octopus, you create the ultimate muscle-building trinity that will transform your body. Number 3. Prawns. Here's something that will blow your mind. 100 grams of prawn delivers about 24 grams of complete protein, which is more than salmon and other fishes. But unlike other seafood, prawns have a secret nutrient that makes their protein incredibly bioavailable, meaning your muscles can absorb and use almost every single gram to fuel growth and repair. What's fascinating about prawn is that seniors completely overlook 2 critical nutrients that make these seafood the absolute muscle-building champions. Prawns are absolutely loaded with iodine, which directly fuels your thyroid hormones that regulate metabolism. This means your body becomes a fat-burning, muscle-building machine that efficiently converts every calorie into pure energy for muscle growth. The potassium content in prawn is equally impressive. It keeps your electrolytes perfectly balanced, so your muscles stay strong, recover at lightning speed, and completely avoid that crushing fatigue that stops so many seniors from staying active. A groundbreaking research has uncovered something remarkable about prawns and muscle preservation in older adults. Scientists discovered that seniors who consumed prawns regularly showed significantly higher muscle protein synthesis rates compared to those eating other protein sources. What shocked researchers was how prawns seemed to activate specific cellular pathways that not only prevented muscle loss, but actually reversed age-related muscle decline. This discovery isn't entirely new to everyone. The coastal fishermen of Bangladesh have relied on prawns as their primary protein source for generations, and during devastating famines and cyclones, something extraordinary happened. While inland communities suffered severe muscle wasting and weakness during food shortages, these prawn-eating fishermen maintained remarkable physical strength and endurance. Even the elderly fishermen could work their nets and boats with the vigor of men half their age, a phenomenon that mystified health officials until they traced it back to their daily prawn consumption. Preparing prawn is incredibly straightforward and takes minutes, not hours. Simply remove the shell by peeling from the head down, devein by making a shallow cut along the back and removing the dark vein, then rinse under cold water. For maximum flavor and nutrition, never overcook. Prawn are done the moment they turn pink and curl slightly. For breakfast, sauté prawn with turmeric, cumin, and chili flakes. Then pile onto mashed avocado spread on sourdough bread. Top with microgreens and a squeeze of lime for a protein-rich breakfast that energizes your entire day. For lunch, hollow out colorful bell peppers and stuff with a mixture of seasoned prawn, black beans, corn, diced jalapenos, and fresh cilantro. Bake until peppers are tender and filling is hot for a satisfying, muscle-fueling lunch. And then, for dinner, simmer prawn in rich coconut milk with curry seize, ginger, and garlic. Then serve over spiralized sweet potato noodles with fresh basil and crushed peanuts for an exotic restaurant-quality dinner that's packed with muscle-building power. Here's the reality check you need to hear. Prawns are incredible, but they're still missing one crucial piece of the puzzle. If you want to completely stop sarcopenia and build muscle that lasts, there's one final seafood that will complete this powerhouse combination. This fourth and final addition will turn everything we've discussed into an unstoppable muscle-building diet. Number 4. Mussels. When you consume 100 grams of mussels, something extraordinary happens in your body. You're flooding your system with an incredible 24 grams of premium protein that's so perfectly structured. But what most seniors have no idea about is that mussels contain 2 game-changing nutrients that create the perfect recipe for muscle growth. Mussels are absolutely packed with omega-3 fatty acids that help fight inflammation in your muscles, dramatically improving recovery time and supporting a stronger heart that pumps more oxygen-rich blood to your working muscles during exercise. The copper content in mussels is equally revolutionary. It strengthens your bones and connective tissue, creating an unbreakable foundation that allows your muscles to grow bigger and stronger without the risk of injury that plagues so many seniors. Recent research has uncovered something that's completely changed how scientists view muscles and muscle preservation. The study revealed that seniors who regularly consumed mussels showed remarkable improvements in both muscle mass and functional strength. But what truly amazed researchers was the speed of these changes. Participants reported feeling stronger and more energetic within just 2 weeks, with measurable muscle gains appearing in as little as 4 weeks. This isn't just laboratory science. The coastal people of Prince Edward Island in Canada have been harvesting and eating mussels for centuries, and something remarkable has been observed about this population. Despite the harsh maritime climate and physically demanding lifestyle, the mussel-eating communities consistently show exceptional longevity and maintain incredible physical strength well into their 90s. Local doctors have documented cases of 85-year-old fishermen who can still haul heavy nets and work 12-hour days, a phenomenon directly linked to their daily muscle consumption. Preparing mussels is surprisingly simple and takes just minutes. Start by scrubbing the shells under cold running water with a stiff brush, removing any barnacles or seaweed. Pull off the beard, the fibrous threads hanging from the shell. Discard any mussels that are cracked or won't close when tapped. Steam them in a pot with a little liquid until they open, usually 3 to 5 minutes, and discard any that remain closed. For breakfast, whisk eggs with fresh herbs like parsley and chives, fold in steamed mussel meat and diced tomatoes, then cook in a cast iron skillet until golden. Finish under the broiler and serve with crusty bread for a protein-packed breakfast that will power your entire morning. For lunch, combine steamed mussel meat with cannellini beans, cherry tomatoes, red onion, and fresh basil. Dress with olive oil, lemon juice, and oregano. Then serve over mixed greens for a refreshing, muscle-building lunch that's ready in minutes. For dinner, sauté garlic, ginger, and red curry paste. Add coconut milk and steamed mussel meat, then simmer with vegetables like eggplant and bell peppers. Serve over zucchini noodles with fresh cilantro and lime for an exotic, restaurant-quality dinner. However, it would be absolutely useless to eat all these incredible muscle-building seafoods if you make the next 4 deadly mistakes I want to talk about. The last mistake is so common, I'm certain you've made it this week. As a matter of fact, these mistakes could completely sabotage your muscle growth, and you definitely don't want that. Most seniors have no idea they're destroying their own muscle-building efforts by eating these foods I want to talk about. After reviewing dozens of nutritional studies on muscle preservation and analyzing the diets of thousands of seniors who struggle with sarcopenia, I've identified the 4 foods that seniors must avoid at all costs, especially when combined with these powerful seafoods. The number 1 food is flavored crackers. Here's the brutal truth about flavored crackers that the food industry doesn't want you to know. These seemingly innocent snacks are absolute muscle destroyers disguised as convenient food. The problem with flavored crackers isn't just that they're highly processed, it's that they're engineered to work against everything your aging muscles desperately need to survive and thrive. When you consume flavored crackers, you're flooding your body with refined flour, artificial preservatives, and inflammatory seed oils that trigger a cascade of muscle-damaging processes. These highly processed ingredients spike your blood sugar, causing your body to prioritize fat storage over muscle building. Even worse, the artificial additives and preservatives create systemic inflammation that directly interferes with muscle protein synthesis, essentially blocking your muscles from using all that incredible protein from the seafoods we just discussed. Recent research published in nutritional journals has shown that seniors who regularly consume highly processed snacks like flavored crackers have significantly lower muscle mass and strength compared to those who avoid them. The study found that the inflammatory compounds in flavored crackers can reduce muscle protein synthesis by up to 30%, effectively canceling out the benefits of high-protein meals. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old retired school teacher from Ohio who came to see me last year. Margaret was doing everything right. She was eating seafoods twice a week and reaching her daily protein requirements, taking walks daily, and even doing light resistance training, but she was still losing muscle mass and feeling weaker by the month. When I reviewed her food diary, I discovered she was snacking on flavored crackers every afternoon and evening while watching TV. These weren't just any crackers. They were the cheese-flavored, heavily processed kind, loaded with artificial ingredients. After I explained how these crackers were sabotaging her muscle-building efforts, Margaret reluctantly agreed to eliminate them from her diet and replace her afternoon snack with a small portion of the mussels and prawns we had discussed. Within just 6 weeks, Margaret reported feeling noticeably stronger. By 3 months, she had gained 4 pounds of lean muscle mass and could carry her groceries up 2 flights of stairs without getting winded, something she hadn't been able to do in years. Instead of reaching for flavored crackers, try snacking on a small handful of nuts with some of those muscle-building mussels we talked about, or prepare a simple prawn salad on whole grain bread. These alternatives will actually support your muscle growth instead of destroying it. But if you think flavored crackers are bad for your muscle building goals, wait until you hear about the next food that's even worse for seniors trying to beat sarcopenia. This next one will shock you because it's marketed as healthy, but it's actually stealing your strength right from under your nose. Number 2. Condensed milk. This is where things get really dangerous for your muscle building journey, and I'm about to expose something that will completely change how you think about this so-called nutritious dairy product. Condensed milk is one of the most deceptive muscle killers on grocery store shelves, masquerading as a healthy dairy option when it's actually a highly processed sugar bomb that's systematically destroying your body's ability to build and maintain muscle. The problem with condensed milk goes far beyond just being processed. It's been stripped of virtually all its natural nutrients and loaded with bad amounts of added sugar. When you consume condensed milk, you're essentially injecting your bloodstream with sugar that causes violent insulin spikes, forcing your body into fat storage mode while simultaneously shutting down muscle protein synthesis. The processing methods used to create condensed milk also destroy the beneficial proteins and enzymes that would normally support muscle growth, leaving you with nothing but empty calories that work against your sarcopenia fighting efforts. Clinical studies have demonstrated that seniors who regularly consume high-sugar processed dairy products, like condensed milk, show accelerated muscle loss and increased insulin resistance. The research revealed that the extreme sugar content triggers chronic inflammation that directly attacks muscle tissue, while the processing chemicals interfere with your body's natural ability to absorb and utilize protein from other sources. I'll never forget Robert, a 68-year-old African-American construction foreman from Detroit, who was struggling with severe muscle weakness despite being physically active his entire life. Robert came to me frustrated because he was following what he thought was a healthy diet, but he was getting weaker every month. During our consultation, I discovered that Robert had been adding several tablespoons of condensed milk to his coffee for over a decade, thinking it was a good source of calcium and protein. What Robert didn't realize was that those daily doses of condensed milk were creating a constant state of inflammation in his body, preventing his muscles from recovering and growing despite his active lifestyle. When I showed him how to replace the condensed milk with fresh whole milk and incorporate the muscle-building seafoods we discussed, particularly adding octopus and prawns to his weekly meal rotation, the transformation was remarkable. Within 2 months, Robert regained enough strength to return to full-time construction work, and after 4 months, he was lifting heavier materials than men half his age. Instead of condensed milk, use fresh whole milk, unsweetened almond milk, or better yet, create protein-rich smoothies using fresh milk blended with some of those powerful mussels or prawns for an incredible muscle-building drink. But condensed milk is nothing compared to the third food I need to warn you about. This last one is so common in senior diets that it's practically considered a health food, but it's actually the #1 muscle destroyer that's keeping millions of seniors weak and frail. What I'm about to reveal will completely shock you. Number 3. Energy drinks. This is the ultimate betrayal of senior health, and what I'm about to tell you will make you question everything you thought you knew about fighting fatigue and building muscle. Energy drinks represent the pinnacle of processed food destruction. They're not just failing to help your muscle-building efforts, they're actively accelerating muscle breakdown while tricking your body into thinking it's getting stronger. Here's what's really happening when seniors consume energy drinks. These chemical cocktails are loaded with synthetic caffeine, artificial stimulants, and processed sugars that create a false energy spike, followed by a devastating crash that leaves your muscles weaker than before. The highly processed ingredients in energy drinks trigger massive oxidative stress throughout your body, literally burning through the muscle tissue you're desperately trying to preserve. Even worse, the artificial amino acids and synthetic vitamins are so heavily processed that your body can't properly absorb them, while the chemical additives interfere with your natural hormone production needed for muscle growth. Groundbreaking research has shown that seniors who consume energy drinks regularly experience significantly faster rates of muscle deterioration compared to those who avoid them. The study found that the combination of synthetic stimulants and processed sugars creates a toxic environment in muscle cells, reducing their ability to repair and regenerate by up to 40%. Let me share the story of Linda, a 74-year-old white retired nurse from Phoenix who thought she was making smart health choices. Linda had been drinking sugar-free energy drinks every morning for 3 years, convinced they were giving her the energy she needed to stay active and maintain her independence. Despite following a decent diet and taking daily walks, Linda was experiencing alarming muscle weakness and couldn't understand why she was getting frailer each month. When Linda came to my clinic, she could barely lift a gallon of milk without assistance. After reviewing her habits, I immediately identified those daily energy drinks as the culprit. They were creating a constant state of cellular stress that was literally eating away at her muscle tissue. I convinced Linda to eliminate the energy drinks completely and replace her morning routine with a protein-rich breakfast featuring the muscle-building seafoods we discussed, particularly incorporating snails and mussels into her weekly meal plan. The transformation was nothing short of miraculous. Within 6 weeks, Linda was carrying her own groceries again. After 3 months, she had regained enough strength to return to her volunteer work at the hospital, lifting patients and working 6-hour shifts without fatigue. Linda's muscle mass measurements showed she had gained 7 pounds of lean muscle at age 74. Instead of energy drinks, start your day with green tea or black coffee paired with a protein-rich meal featuring any of those powerful seafoods we covered. Or create a natural energy boost with a smoothie containing fresh fruits and a small portion of prawns or mussels. But here's something that will absolutely terrify you. There's actually something even more dangerous than energy drinks that's silently destroying senior health across America. This final revelation is so shocking that most doctors don't even realize the connection to rapid muscle loss and premature aging. Number 4. Fast food burgers. This is where the processed food industry commits its most devastating crime against senior health. And what I'm about to reveal will fundamentally change how you view these convenient meals forever. Fast food burgers aren't just empty calories. They're engineered muscle destroyers that systematically dismantle everything your aging body needs to stay strong and independent. The horror of fast food burgers lies in their complete industrial processing from start to finish. The meat is pumped full of preservatives, sodium, and inflammatory additives that create a toxic storm in your digestive system. The buns are loaded with refined flour and high fructose corn syrup that spike your blood sugar to dangerous levels, forcing your body to shut down muscle-building processes and switch into emergency fat storage mode. But here's the most sinister part. The processed cheese and sauces contain trans fats and chemical emulsifiers that actually block your muscles from absorbing the protein from those incredible seafoods we discussed, essentially canceling out all your muscle-building efforts. Recent clinical research has uncovered something absolutely shocking about fast food consumption in seniors. The study revealed that older adults who eat fast food burgers just twice a week show measurable muscle protein breakdown within hours of consumption, and this muscle destruction continues for up to 48 hours after eating. The researchers found that the inflammatory compounds in processed burgers can reduce muscle recovery by up to 60%. I want to tell you about James, a 69-year-old Hispanic retired truck driver from Texas who came to see me in a wheelchair. James had been a strong, independent man his entire life, but over the past 2 years, he'd become so weak he could barely stand for more than a few minutes. When I investigated his eating habits, I discovered that James was eating fast food burgers almost daily, sometimes twice a day, because they were convenient, and he thought the meat would help maintain his strength. What James didn't understand was that those processed burgers were systematically destroying his muscle tissue faster than his body could rebuild it. The constant inflammation from the processed ingredients was literally dissolving his muscles from the inside out. I worked with James to completely eliminate fast food and introduced him to the muscle-building seafood protocol we've been discussing, with a special focus on incorporating octopus and prawns into simple, easy-to-prepare meals. The results were beyond anything I expected. Within 8 weeks, James was walking without assistance. After 4 months, he had regained enough strength to drive his car and return to part-time work. His muscle mass measurements showed he had gained an incredible 12 pounds of lean muscle tissue, something his doctor said was impossible at his age. Instead of fast food burgers, prepare simple protein patties using ground turkey or lean beef at home. Or better yet, create satisfying meals using those powerful seafoods we covered. A quick prawn stir-fry or mussel soup takes less time than driving to a fast food restaurant and will actually build your muscles instead of destroying them. Which of these muscle-destroying foods have you been unknowingly eating this week? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every single one and I'm genuinely curious about your experiences. If you're serious about finally building the strong muscles you deserve at your age, I've created something special just for you. My 30-day muscle recovery meal plan contains over 90 high-protein recipes and muscle-building combinations that work to maximize your muscle growth. Plus, I've included the exact preparation methods and meal timing strategies to optimize protein absorption and muscle building. You'll find the link to this comprehensive meal plan in my pinned comment or in the description below. But here's something even more exciting. Tomorrow, I'm revealing a secret that will completely change how you think about building leg strength. This has been clinically proven to increase muscle activation by 34% without any exercise whatsoever. I can only share this information with my subscribers first. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do it now. You don't want to miss tomorrow's video, and I guarantee you've never heard it anywhere else. See you soon. Senior Food Blog.